Hey guys, my name's Ben. Welcome to the Swanky Productions channel, where I put at least one new off-road adventure video out every week. So if you like what I see here today and you want to make sure you see more, click that subscribe button. Today I'm going to be installing these DirtRacks heavy-duty soft luggage racks on the back of the Tenere 700. I will also be installing DirtRacks' own special waterproof bags on each side. And I think the thing that I'm most looking forward to, as much as it's going to be nice to have some storage, which the Tenere 700 is severely lacking, you can't even fit a bottle of water underneath the seat, as much as I'm going to enjoy having a bit of protection on the exhaust pipe, even though I do have the Camel ADV high exhaust mount kit. The thing that I think I am most looking forward to is that I will actually have something to grab onto to move the back of the bike around. And the DirtRacks rear rack provides a little bit of that, but it is still just not in the right spot. This is such a pain in the butt to not have something to grab onto back here. The first thing I'm going to have to do is take this rack off. I guess at least take these bolts off. Maybe I can leave this part on. I'm not sure quite how, but the new racks will actually mate up with this rear rack, which I think is awesome. I love having this to put my tusk bag on. These are going to mount to the back of the passenger pegs here. You've got that fastener in there, so that'll have to come out. And we'll also be removing this guy here. So if you didn't have the rear rack like I've got, you would need two of the longer spacers up at the top, and then we will still need these 22mm spacers down at the foot peg. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about this piece here. This one I guess I will still use, but we'll have to figure that out by just grabbing a rack here and testing it out. So all the hardware that came with this kit is the same. We'll be using these longer bolts to replace everything that I pulled out today, along with the washer that came along with them. We'll sneak that down there, and I'm betting that since I've got this rear rack on here, I'm not going to need any spacers at all, other than the rack itself and the small spacer behind it. Next we'll stick the long spacer up here, along with the fastener. We'll be sticking blue Loctite on all these before I tighten them down. Yeah, I'm thinking that looks about right. It's pretty slick. Down here we'll stick the fastener through, get the spacer on top, and line that up at the bottom. Look at that. That goes on pretty easily. Cannot complain about that at all. Looks like everything fits up perfectly on its own with the rack and with the Camel ADV high mount exhaust kit. That is pretty sweet. So with that all fitting up nice, what I'm going to do is just pull all of these out individually and stick some blue Loctite on them. So now I'm going to get all these just about finger tight, and then I will go through and tighten these two down first, ending with the one with the slot in it down at the bottom. Now whenever I do stuff like this, people always ask me if I should be using a torque wrench for this, or if they should be using a torque wrench for this, and the answer is yes, you should be using a torque wrench for this. That is incredibly solid. I really was not quite sure how that was going to work, being kind of far away from the frame up at the top here, and then also just having, you know, the one point kind of connected way down there. But I've got to say, man, I am very, very impressed with how sturdy that feels. Yeah, I like that a lot, and that is going to be so nice to have a spot to grab here. Obviously with the bag on here, that's going to make things a little bit more difficult, but I'm really going to feel much better about having this protection for the Camel ADV pipe. As good of a design as that is, I'm going to be much happier having some actual crash bars around it. And man, I gotta say, that really looks nice on there. I was always kind of hesitant to stick anything on the back of this bike just because I really liked the look of the rear end of this thing. But I've got to say, man, that looks good on there. So what do you say we get this other side put on and then we'll stick the bags on? So I'm actually having a little bit of trouble over on this side. It seems like I can't quite get that lined up right, and I don't think it'll be too big of a deal. I think basically this piece just needs to be bent down a little bit, and I don't really have everything snugged up quite yet, so maybe something's still just misaligned, but I kind of don't think so. I think I'm gonna have to do maybe a little bit of yanking to get that into place. Certainly not a huge deal, just something to kind of be aware of and to be careful of so you don't force a bolt in and strip something out. So there we go, not too big of a deal at all. I did have to yank up on this side a little bit with that fastener in place and this fastener in place in order to get that one to line up and then go in, and it really wasn't a big deal at all. Just needed to muscle it on a little bit and then everything lined up just fine. Definitely a little bit more space on this side, but obviously they are evenly spaced, so with the pipe over there, you're just gonna kind of end up with that. Definitely does add a bit of girth to the bike, but is obviously offering quite a bit of added protection as well. So I'm definitely gonna be happy to have them on there. Really, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, does not add that much width. The front crash bars stick out, I think, just as far, if not even a little bit farther maybe. Again, having these grab points is just gonna be absolutely necessary for all the off-road riding that I do, and just even moving around in the garage, it's gonna be so nice to have a place to grab. So it looks like these bags should go on here pretty easily. We've got some loops on the bottom, and then we've got the Velcro straps up top here that will just get stuck together. We can kind of adjust these for the width of our bike. While we've got that in place, we will get these things zip tied down to the little hooks that we've got welded on each end of the rack. And that's where these reusable zip ties that they send you are really gonna come in handy. So now I did essentially the same thing over here. I think I'm actually gonna be able to get away without clipping these. Not really a big deal, but I just kind of turned them in onto the inside here. The kit also came with some bungees and some slings. Now these will attach to the sides up here, so you can actually kind of carry these over your shoulder. Really nice. This part will just, of course, stay attached to the bike. And each one of these straps here is gonna have this nice little elastic piece for carrying the slack. That'll be nice to keep that out of the way. Got these zipper pockets on the side, which are not huge, but are definitely going to be nice to have to throw something small in. We've got some reflective striping on the bottom here, always nice to have. Now, as far as how close the bag is to the pipe, I don't think that this really gets all that hot. There's quite a bit of insulation packed in there, so as long as that all stays in place and you don't blow it out, you should be okay. Definitely something to keep an eye on though. And that's actually something that we can go out and test right now. Lady inside asked me how I was gonna get these home. We're gonna find out. Huh, like a glove. definitely makes me grip the bars a little bit harder. I think probably harder than I have to. But that extra bit of weight back there really kind of makes the ride a bit different. Probably should have cranked both my preload and my compression damping up on the rear, but hopefully you won't be riding around with this much weight in here all the time, so I figured I would just leave it as is. And whoa, I can definitely tell that spring is doing some extra work today. As far as the bags go, though, I think they're still hanging on back there. Feels like there's still 24 cans of beer on each side. I don't know how much weight that is. Anybody know? Well, let me know down in the comment box. I think this is probably more weight than I would ever need to carry if I ever took this thing camping. I guess maybe that's not true, at least in the bags anyhow, which is obviously what we're kind of out here to test. So I'm pretty happy with them. Now, as long as they stay on there the whole rest of the ride, I kind of can't believe that I got both of those cases to fit in there. Kind of didn't think it was going to happen for a couple seconds there, but they slid in there real nice. And how cool is that? You can bring 48 cans of beer home with you on your Tenere. Now, I'm a little bit more interested in the crash protection than the bags, as I really don't do a whole lot of actual adventure riding. My adventures are usually kind of a day trip, maybe 6 hours at a time, on some nice county roads to get up to some beautiful trails, or over to the Tigerton area here to hit the trails over here. And I don't know that I'll really have the bags on a whole lot, but if I ever do actually do some adventure riding with this and take it camping or something, I think these will be so nice to have. Absolutely zero worries about these things being waterproof. Obviously, we'll have to see kind of how they hold up, but as of right now, they actually will hold air if you wind them down right. So I don't think keeping the rain out is going to be an issue at all, as long as you get them on there good. Everything seems like it's cinched down pretty nice. Couldn't tell that anything was loosening up. And without anything in them, I honestly didn't even know they were there. I guess maybe I bumped my knee on one a couple times. But obviously, I mean, if you stick big bags on the side of your bike, you're going to have to get on a little bit differently once in a while. But honestly, I mean, they pretty much stay out of the way. With a passenger, I think they might kind of get in the way a bit. But, woo, as far as just me sitting on it, absolutely no problems. Like I said, didn't even know they were there when they weren't full. So, definitely a good thing. What a beautiful day. It went from winter to almost summer temperatures here. I'm sweating in my HWK gear. Woo. Oh, actually, when I say gear, I should mention, I really want to thank you guys for everybody that's been using the Rocky Mountain ATV links to buy your gear. Really helps the channel out big time. Definitely nice to have that extra little bit of income, especially when AdSense is so volatile and really pretty much dropped to just about half what I was making a couple months ago. So do really appreciate you guys' support, both monetary and just views and comments and stuff. But if you guys do want to find new ways to support the channel, or you're not using those Rocky Mountain links, I can put some links for my regular gear down in the description. I'm actually rocking a couple new things today, but I've got links for a bunch of stuff down there. But the MSR air gloves, and I'm actually wearing some Rocky Mountain ATV riding socks, which I know that sounds super funny, but I've been trying to wear them every time I go out, and honestly, on the days that I forget, I am sorely disappointed, because these things are just so nice and comfy. I guess maybe my Hanes socks are just kind of the bottom of the barrel, but unless you actually go from one to the other, you probably think I'm a weirdo for talking about socks. But man, I love these things. They're so comfy. Nice to have the protection from your riding boots too, which you should have if you're not riding with riding boots. Check out the boots that I'm rocking down in the comment, or in the comment box in the description. The Falcos, I had Formas for a long time, and the Falcos provide a little bit more protection, but I have to say the Formas are a lot more comfortable. Woo. And as far as protection goes, I think having these racks on the back are definitely gonna be a good thing. It's definitely gonna be good to have, since this bike really has no protection in the rear whatsoever without them. So, not that I'm looking forward to crashing, but I'm definitely a lot less worried about it now that I actually have something back there. Oh yeah, bike's a little heavy.
So one thing that I was just thinking of is I mentioned we were going to test how hot this got. And I think, honestly, yeah, the camel pipe, I mean, it's too hot to touch, but I don't think we're really getting any heat on the backside of this bag at all. I don't really want to scorch my hand. But no, bag is completely cool. Hand actually is not really even hardly feeling the heat there. Not sure I would put a canister of gasoline there, but a case of beer, totally fine. Yeah, that definitely makes the back sit a little lower. You guys been falling down here? Loosened up a bit. So I think that's really all I've got for you guys. Definitely a big thumbs up for both the bags and the racks. I think this is going to be a very good economical option. DirtRacks has never let me down before. However, I will, of course, let you guys know down in the comment section. I'll pin a comment if I ever have any issues with these. So no matter how old the video is, take a look down there. I'll put an update if there is one. And there may not be, but I will kind of keep you guys sort of up to date also in the videos as they come out weekly. If that's something you guys are interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click the bell after you subscribe. That way it'll let you know anytime I put a new video out. Other than that, guys, take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out and enjoy this beautiful world whenever you can. And if you can't right now, here's some more videos to check out.